Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode. I'm Dr. Tara Lynn, and I am here with my colleague Andrea Caprio, and she is going to talk about 5 sacred secrets to beating emotional eating once and for all. And the majority of you have probably heard that I have struggled in this area a lot, so I love to hear ways to help with this. So I am super excited to hear what you have to say, Andrea, about this much needed topic. So with that being said, hello, Andrea, and how about you tell everybody who you are, what you do, and all of that good stuff.
Hi, Dr. Terrelin, and hi, everybody else. Thanks for having me here. I'm so excited, I must say. I've been listening to your podcast for some while and love what you're doing. So thank you for actually
Thank you.
Here.
Yeah.
So I am a weight loss coach, and I work especially with entrepreneurs and help them to overcome emotional eating. And Terrelin and myself, we have both studied together at the Institute of Transformational Nutrition, and I think that's why both we are very passionate actually about helping people on a much deeper level and not just kind of give another diet or another meal plan or whatever that is. I personally don't believe, and I think you're the same, right?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely right. Which is why this whole emotional eating stuff, I'm like, this is where we need to go. It's not just about another diet or another way to eat food. It is so much deeper than that. So yes.
Absolutely. And that's definitely something. I mean, I've been working for a couple of years with my clients, and I actually realized, so I go very deep on various chronic illnesses and so on. But I saw actually that almost everybody comes to me with weight loss issues. And once dialing deeper, everybody has some sort of emotional stress eating, and emotional root causes. And that's what I'm really super passionate about actually, is to help people find what are these root causes and of course overcoming them, because that's for me the only way where people actually can get long-term health results and keep the weight off and overcome the emotional eating. And really by diving deeper in and taking the time, yes, you see sometimes very quick results, but actually really making it a long-term. It takes also, to first overcome it, but then also to implement healthy habits. And that I'm really passionate as well, because in the end, we don't want to fight our whole life against willpower and things like that. And, like this whole discipline thing and so on. But it can be actually so much easier. I mean, it's just like, I always say like brushing your teeth in the morning. I mean, we don't think about that anymore. But when eventually the eating becomes, because we've overcome our blockages and all that, then it's like brushing your teeth in the morning.
Oh, that would be fantastic. And as you were talking, I kept thinking like a peaceful relationship with food. Like, let's just have peace around it, like brushing your teeth. Like, it's pretty peaceful. I don't stress out about brushing my teeth. I might stress out about flossing, but the brushing part is totally fine, but establishing a peaceful relationship with food, I think is paramount. So
yeah, but guess what? I'm sure, but I don't know, but most people, they've been brushing their teeth forever, but not necessarily flossing. But we learn to floss our teeth because we do it when we brush our teeth. So it's kind of, binding two things together. An existing habit with a new habit actually helps. And that's perhaps a little tip for everybody who listens here. And I find that very useful. Something I teach my clients is always, make it easy. And that's something, it's one of my sacred secrets actually around.
Nice. I didn't even know. All right. With that, let's get started. What is sacred secret number 1?
Perfect. So the first secret is to clarify your direction. Actually get super clear, what are your goals? Now, a lot of people say, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds. First of all, a lot of people have been let down so often by other programs or diets, and they believe they can only lose 10 pounds, but secretly they might want to lose 30 pounds or 40 pounds or whatever it is. So that's first of all something that's really clear. If you want, and if your ideal weight, whatever that is to lose 40 pounds, then aim for the 40 pounds, not for the 10 pounds. So get super clear on your direction and the goal. And then it's also like, make it about what you want to look like. Your issue might be, okay, you're not fitting in these tiny fitting jeans or the little black dress. And, when you go out with your husband, you look awesome and he eats you up with your eyes or something like that. if that's something, or perhaps you want to be healthier because you want to see your kids grow up and play with your grandkids. So really get very clear on what the real goal is. So when you have a goal, ask the why. Why do I want to lose those 10 pounds or whatever it is, and why and why and why. So dive deep and get really clear. So that's the sacred secret number one.
I want to comment on that because so many times when you have a larger amount of weight to lose, like say 40 or 50 pounds, or even 20 can seem large at some times. When you do go somewhere, and this has happened to me too, people are like, well, why don't you just, aim for 10 and then you'll be successful at 10. And you're like, or are you telling me that I can't be successful to lose 40? Right? Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Which sets you up for some failure, if you will,
It absolutely does. And of course, wanting to lose 40 pounds is huge. Even 10 pounds is huge. It doesn't matter. No matter what it is. And that's really where actually my sacred secret number 2 comes in.
Do it.
Getting really, really clear on your actions. Strategize your actions, because, you're not going to lose those 40 pounds in 2 weeks. It's not going to happen. You will need a year, 2 years, whatever it takes for that. You took probably a couple of years to put it on. So,
right.
You need really to get clear. And so when you have the big goal, then you cut it down into small steps. And you will start with, let's say, with your 1 year goal or your 6 months goal, perhaps whatever it is. And then you cut it down in 3 months, in 1 month, in 1 week. And then eventually into daily steps. And that's what I'm working with my clients, and which makes it so successful actually is, when you have a clear plan and you cut it down into that, in the morning, you just get up, you wake up, and you know what to do. And it goes a little bit to, like I said earlier, with the brushing your teeth, when you know actually what to do is, then it's so clear. And then really, you can make that plan, get super clear on it, refine it. So also the trick is then to review it. And that's why coaching is so really powerful, because you have a plan, you work on it, and then you review it, you fine tune it, and then you continue and so on. So, step by step, you improve actually what you're doing. You improve your lifestyle, you improve your goal. Of course, you work towards your goal all the time. So that's really, really powerful. And there you can really also, when you do that, really find fun ways to burn some fat, to eat healthier. Could be mindful eating, for example. That is really, some fun way actually to be more aware of what you're actually eating, or find fun ways to exercise. It doesn't need to go to gym when you hate that. Some people love it, some really hate it.
Right.
But just dancing around your house while you vacuum clean and put loud music on is fun.
Right. I think it's funny because we have this idea that exercise has to be prescribed a certain amount of time doing a certain thing, so dancing around the house doesn't fit into that idealized version of what exercise is, right? So I think, it's like changing mental strategy around that. Like any movement is good movement.
Right. I love walking in the morning with my husband. We have like a 15-minute morning walk almost every morning, and we love it. We chat, we catch up. It's beautiful. You're out in the nature, and that's a way already, getting some movement in.
Right.
I enjoy
Nice.
And
you enjoy your company.
Also, absolutely. And perhaps there also one thing is, when you strategize your actions, don't opt for perfectionism. We try always to be perfect or do it 100% right. Every day, 1% improvement is what ideally you can achieve. It's not too difficult, 1% of improvement every day. And when you do the calculation, I'm not sure if it's 72 or 74 days, but you get actually 100% result when you do that for some time.
That's nice.
So it's really, so it helps, you get towards your goals.
Yeah, nice. All right. So what is the next secret?
That's to upgrade your skills. So now that is, of course, something where very often, I know you work with your clients on that, I do as well, is really to find out what skills are needed to achieve that. So we of course, check very deeply into physically the root causes, what's wrong, what's not working. But sometimes there are also just like things, how to shop healthier. And yes, of course, out there on Google, there's so much mismatch information. So it is good to work with a professional there to find out really what are the right foods to buy, what macronutrients you need, what micronutrients you need, and things like that. What kind of exercise is perhaps better, what lifestyle changes you can do, how to improve your stress. I mean, I see with everybody, there's too much stress. I think it's a 99% or so of my clients have too much stress, no matter if they work and don't work. But
Right.
stress just in our life, we cannot avoid it. But how to deal better with it is something I really love to educate my clients on. And I think that's essential. And the other thing is sleep. And sleep is one of those things very often forgotten. And sleep is really responsible. I mean, especially emotional eating and weight loss is so important, because when we are tired, it affects our hormones, and that affects the hunger hormones, the craving hormones. It affects our weight loss as well. I mean, there were studies done where actually, depending on the sleep, the amount of sleeps the study group did. So one was underslept, so 5 hours to 7 hours, and one slept 8 hours. The difference was 37% in weight loss for those who slept longer.
Oh, wow. So okay. So sleep is like the search for the Holy Grail, right? Everybody talks about improving sleep, but do you have some, and I'm putting you on the spot here, so if it's a no, it's totally fine. Do you have some really good ideas on how someone can improve their sleep?
Of course, put me on the spot. I'm dealing with it every day. So
I know, right? It's a topic.
And you do the same. Oh,
yeah.
I'm so passionate. Look, I think the biggest thing I would say is electronics. Because nowadays we can just not get away from electronics. And I am very guilty as well. It's, in the evening, I'm there on my cell phone and I'm checking Facebook or whatever it is, or my emails, or watching TV, or being on my computer or whatever. I try to switch down and rather replace these things with reading perhaps, or with a walk outside, or just relaxing. So I would definitely say about 1 hour before sleeping, ideally 2 hours, stop all the electronics. Have also some dim light, more the yellow light. Actually, what happens with the electronics is this blue light is decreasing your melatonin, and you need the melatonin to actually sleep. Now, you could alternatively, there's something as well. You can use, most phones and computers have apps that actually make your screen yellowish. So that's less. And you have also glasses. I'm not sure I have them here. No, I would have to look for them. But you have yellow glasses. You can either put on top of yours or just have yellow glasses. And they're also softening. So that would be the next best thing, probably.
Okay.
And then the other thing perhaps just is really have a nice sleep routine. I'm very much about routines. I mean, my life is really guided by routines. And initially I found it boring, because I'm also a crazy person and I have lots of clients like that says, I don't want to be the boring person. I want to have fun. And actually routines allow you to, get all this clutter away and have more fun and be more free. So a nighttime routine is really something that could be a meditation. It could be journaling, for example. It could be a walk, like I said, or whatever it is. I mean, but have a routine every night, which kind of says to your brain, oh, we're going to go to sleep now.
Good. Yeah, I am all about routines myself. And I used to own daycare centers. And so we're like routine. Let your body know what to expect next. And I think that also happens with sleep. Like if we have a sleep routine, you're letting your body know it's time to wind down. This is how we do it. And I think we do this very well with our children, bedtime routines, bath, book, bed. But then we don't do the same thing for ourselves,
Right.
So
and you're absolutely right. And unfortunately, not all children have anymore the bed, book, sleep.
Right. Exactly. All right. Was that number 4?
That was number 3. Let's jump
number
to
3.
4.
All right.
And that's optimize your environment. So that's definitely who and what should you surround yourself. So the who is actually quite important. And I learned something which I didn't know until very recently, is even second-degree connection. So the friends of your friends, or the friends of the people you surround yourself with most,
are influencing your own level. So
Interesting.
interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that as well. I thought, of course, because we know, the 5 people you surround yourself directly most influence you the most and all that, but it's even the second degree connections which have an influence. So you want to look a little bit into your surroundings. Now, if you, have been perhaps not having the perfect lifestyle and hanging out with your party buddies and the people perhaps who are eating all the time and doing perhaps the things you don't want to do anymore, maybe it's time not to forget your friends and give them up, but surround yourself rather with people who encourage your new behavior, the new person you want to be. Now, I love also, it's a little bit The Alter Ego by Todd Herman, really great book, by the way. It's really to become the person you want to be. And, that could be surrounding yourself more with gym people, people who go to gym, or you take up a new hobby or something like that. And the same you do it with people is, of course, your surroundings directly, your house. So if you have really your cupboards full of sugary food and you want to stop that, please take everything and give it to charity or trash it away or whatever it is, put it away. Because if you see it every day, then you will probably more likely to eat it, and make it easy to have the access to your good habits. So put your gym shoes, right in front when you get up, so you see them and it's easy for you to put them on and you can go and do some workout.
Yeah. And so if your goal is to get up and work out the next day, so when you lay your clothes out or lay your shoes out the night before, you're actually setting that intention hours before. And so it makes it a lot more difficult to avoid it in the morning, right? So it's all set right there versus running around in the morning and telling yourself, oh, I don't have time to pack that gym bag, even though you wanted to yesterday. You can, I'm going to say, run out of time and, convince yourself not to do it. But I have found that if I pack something the night before or lay it out the night before, I'm more likely to follow through with that in the morning time. So it
You're
works.
absolutely right. I fully agree. And of course, it's a lot of the mindset coming in there. And I will talk about that more just in a second. But that also helps them to go back to step 2 is, the planning is, for example, I write every night. I have a little thing I scribble, like my 3-4 things or so I want really to achieve the next day. So I have a big planning process and all that, but I will always write in the evening the things I'm going to do the next day. And then in the morning, I just get up and I get going.
Yeah, the intention is being set. The neurological connection is being made. So
You're
good.
very strong on that, absolutely. Right. And that leading actually into the last point of my Sacred Secrets is master your psychology. It's your mindset. Yeah. And for me, I think that's, and I guess we agree on that one, is really the most important.
Yeah, should be number 1.
It is, but I left the best for the last.
That's right. Okay.
So it's really, it's all about getting clear on your fears, your doubts and all that, and working with that, the limiting beliefs. I mean, I see, especially I work a lot with women, a little bit more than men, but men have it too, is the limiting beliefs. We have been told when we were children that we have to eat up our plate, we have to finish everything. Or we've been told we are not good enough or not strong enough or not loved enough or whatever it is, or also we think, because we probably have not been told, but we've been carrying these thoughts in a big suitcase our whole life.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm passionate about in coaching, and how I really work and I get the biggest transformation with my clients is to see, get rid of those limiting beliefs and transform them in the truth and be there authentically, speak your truth, be your truth. And that's, of course, with the emotional eating all coming in there, because the emotional eating is really something. And I love, what Cynthia Pasquella, both our coach and mentor, said is, to find out what you're really hungry for. It's never the food. It's never the food.
It's never the food. I like that phrase a lot too, because I think it makes a lot of sense. And those limiting beliefs, it's funny you mentioned the suitcase, because I always tell people it's a backpack because we've strapped it on us, and we carry it wherever we go because it's convenient and easy and hard to put it down. So yeah. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, over time, we search for evidence that what's in the backpack is true. and then I will find more. Oh, yep, here's this. This is going to go in the backpack too, and that's going to go in. And pretty soon we are just crawling or slithering on the floor because that backpack is so heavy. It feels hard to overcome. So that, I believe that limiting belief is tied to so much, mental health, food, whatever. It's just tied to so much. So if nothing else, everybody that's listening, please begin to start working on those limiting belief systems, because they are, in fact, what is holding you back.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And I love actually I think I might steal that from you with a backpack.
Yeah. Steal away.
Then the suitcase, because yes, it is. And I see it was just everybody. I mean, it's flabbergasting. And to be honest, myself as well, I had those limiting beliefs and I still have them. I've worked, I've done the work. But there are things, I believe, it's really working through our whole lives. There will always be little things, at moments, this little voice in your brain says, oh no, you're not worthy and whatever.
Yeah.
That's, I believe really in coaching. I've just come back from Miami from a coaching seminar, amazing. And it's really about coaching is really so important for everybody. I mean, I think it's the biggest force. And, I have a coach. I'm sure you have a coach too. We all need coaches because it's always, coming. It's constant growing. And when we've overcome finally something, there will be other things. And that's really, it's a lifelong learning and growing, and we get stronger with it.
Right. And I also think, you might overcome a belief and then years later, there it is again. You're like, oh crap, here it is again. Here we are. Put the backpack back on, whatever.
Fully right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. You never know when it might creep up back. I hear that a lot. Like, I thought I was over that. I'm like, well, you know what? For the most part, yes, but we don't know what kind of circumstance we're going to be in the future that is going to trigger some of that again, but yeah. So again, message being, work on your limiting beliefs, right? Work those out. So, all right. Was that number 5? I've lost track of
number 5. Absolutely.
Number.
Yes.
Awesome.
These are the 5 sacred secrets. You got them all. So I just perhaps repeat them. So first of all, get really clear, clarify your direction. And then next one, strategize your action. So really make a step-by-step plan. Upgrade your skills. So, sit down and write what's missing. What don't you know? And, buy a book, get a coach, whatever it is, look for it. Then optimize your environment. So it makes it so much more easier. You don't want to have to fight against something all the time. And then last, work on your mindset. Get rid of those limiting beliefs. Nice.
All right. So where can everybody find you, Andrea?
Okay, so the best is my website, which is wellnessmethods.com. I'm sure you're sharing these somewhere.
Yep, these will be in the show notes for everyone.
Super. And then I'm also having a gift for everybody, if that's all right.
Yes, please. What is the gift?
Okay, I'm having an emotional stress eating formula. So something which is super, super easy for you to do at home, which helps you actually to overcome emotional stress eating. And that one I will you will share it. So it's wellnessmethods.com/emotional stress eating, and you will share it with.
We'll also have a link. Yep.
And if anybody wants to dive deeper and find out a little bit more on how to overcome emotional eating, and I also offer some free sessions, emotional eating sessions. So that will be also shared with you. So you can connect with me. It's free of charge. And I help you really to dive deep in and help you with what we've discussed, but obviously focused and personalized on yourself.
Awesome. And I will remind you, but she'll also have her 5 Sacred Secrets as a blog post. So we'll have that linked in below. So don't worry, everyone. All the links on how to get a hold of Andrea will be in the show notes here. So this was wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on. It's always a pleasure to talk with you, Andrea. And everyone, please leave us a comment. Let us know how you like the show, and we will see you next time.
Thank you so much, Dr. Teralyn. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope this was useful, and I look forward to seeing more of you, and I look forward to having you on my interview.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I'll be there. All right.
Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye.